All right, there we go. Let's get it in. Sexy party, sexy party, sexy party. It's like saying Beetlejuice. You gotta keep saying Beetlejuice. But hello, everyone. Welcome to Sexy Party. This is episode number 26 of Sexy Party. In case you are confused and wondering who I am, my name is Antonio Bryce. I am a comic book creator. Obviously a podcaster as well. I've created the comic book series Brand and its ongoing sequel, Brand Way of the Gun, which is currently on Indiegogo. You can check that out. You can either go to the comic book section on Indiegogo or just type in akaripress.com. It'll take you right there. But hello, let me introduce my lovely co-host, the Mad Weirdo. How are you this week, dear?
I am doing pretty good. I've been having a fabulous Saturday, just sleeping and playing Sims 4 on my PS4. So I'm in pretty good mood.
Okay, so a couple things. First of all, I'm an Xbox guy. And second of all, I am used to when I'm asking you how you doing for you to be telling me about all this kinky sex and everything that you've been enjoying. So
Oh,
I was a little thrown off by your answer. It just seemed so ordinary.
now see that was yesterday. He folded me up, bruh. Like
Okay. Here we
I
go.
got I got folded and drilled, bruh. He folded me up. We were arguing, and
Now,
the
is this the
weird
Dom guy? This is
yes,
the
this is him.
okay.
We were arguing, and he's weird because he gets turned on by aggression. Like he get turned on by violence. He get turned on by anger and attitudes and all that. So here I am arguing with him, and he has a rock hard dick,
Mm.
and I'm like, ugh. And he just like drops his jaws, and I'm just like, what? He's like, you want fuck? I'm like, what?
Is that
What?
the move now?
Right. And here it is, the big dick swinging in the wind. And I'm just like looking at him like, I am horny. See, that's the thing. Your whole body can be mad, your mind can be mad, but your pussy ain't mad about shit.
So
So
you just went with the he said you want fucking. I guess you just went with it.
no, I continued arguing and he just folded me up. And we were fighting and he just put it in and that was it. I love that shit. I like aggressive sex too. So So
Mm.
I'm sitting up here just hitting him, telling him how much a shit he is, because I'm mad, and he's just drilling the fuck out of me. I mean, the fuck out of me, bro. And then he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna flip you over." He flipped me over like it wasn't nobody business, and just started
Mm.
drilling and tapping. I'm just like, "Oh," I said, "Fuck it, fuck the fighting."
So okay, so it sounds like this was still, despite all the protests, that this was a positive experience for you.
It was some
Mhm.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith type shit.
Well, the reason I say that is because I've had situations like that, and then we kind of had the angry sex,
Right.
and then some weeks later we get into another argument, and I'm being told that I raped her on this particular occasion. I had that happen to me. I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
What
That was the
rape?
first thing he said after it was done. He was like, "You gonna say I'm raped you?" I was like, "No." What? First off, we have consent, non-consent. So
Yeah, and I was engaged to this woman, and she did that. We, like I said, we had the angry sex. We had been arguing,
mhm.
and yeah, and then we had which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, seemed like the sex was kind of hot, and we'd been arguing and kind of squashed that. And then, like, about 4 or 5 weeks later, I get hit with the, you raped me. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Where'd that
Right.
come from? And I was like, and I said, wait a minute, okay, so if you feel like I raped you, why are we still getting married? Why is all this kind of stuff happening? And she was like, well, if you're my husband, you can rape me whenever you want. I was like, what? The whole thing was all screwed up. It
Uh,
was all screwed up. Because, yeah, I
no.
didn't agree with that. And the whole thing was just jacked up.
First off, it don't work that way because married women get raped by their husbands. I was one. Ooh, that sounds a little bit like rape play is what she's talking about, and
the whole thing made
a
me
lie.
uncomfortable. It made me when she said that, I couldn't really see myself
Marrying
liking this
her.
bitch. Yeah, I was like, damn, I done spent all this money on the damn engagement ring, or money had been put down to reserve. We were gonna get there's a country club, and it was like $2,000 and all this kind of shit. We spent all this money. I was like, oh, I started talking to my friends. They was because my friend Leatra, she told me she had spent all this money on a wedding and everything, but it was getting closer to the date, and she started feeling like the guy that she was engaged to just wasn't the right guy. And she said, I bought the dress, and this happened and that happened. And she said, even though I spent all that money, I just knew it wasn't right. So I had to pull the plug on that shit. And her saying that really made me start thinking about shit, because I was like, do I really want to spend the next 25, 30 years of my life with this bitch?
Right.
Real talk. Because she said her not to mention, like, her mom was very annoying. I liked her dad. I got along with her dad real well. But her mom was a little wacky. And she was a mama's girl, and it just seemed like mom was always in the relationship. And I was like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna be the right move.
Right.
So at that point, I was like, okay, well, let me remove myself from the situation. So that is what I did. So
it'd be like that sometimes. I lost out on $2K. My money and my mom's money for renting places and putting down a deposit when I was engaged to my first fiance, when I was engaged to him. And that was my end all be all. But stuff started happening to where I felt like he didn't want to marry me because we were trying to plan the wedding and he didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to go to the bridal shows or none of that shit. And I just, some in my spirit just didn't feel right. And back in the day, I used to go through people's shit. So I went through all his Black Planet, and I found out he was talking to all these women.
I remember Black Planet.
Black Planet was lit back in the day.
I remember. Is that site still up? I haven't been there.
It is. Solange bought it.
But that's what. Oh, you talking about Beyonce's sister? Mm-hmm. She bought it. Okay.
She bought it. So now she's trying to make it black. And
that's why all the white girls was. It was so funny. It was so funny. You be on Black Planet and there'll be all these white girls on there.
Yep. They'll be on the message board. They'll be in the chat. They everywhere looking for some black dick.
That was so funny, because I was like, this site is specifically for black people. And there was so many white girls on there. I was like, okay.
Right. Because
they was in there pulling black dudes.
They want the Daquan dick. They want the Jamal dick. They want the dick. They said fuck Chad. What's up with Jamal?
But yeah, there was a chick that I used to talk to on MySpace, and she told me she had Googled me and stuff. So I felt like I should Google her ass, and she had like, her like different usernames and stuff that she would use. Oh, I'm on Pinterest and all that. So I took her. That's a little thing I do. I took her username that she used on Pinterest, and I just hit it in Google and seen what would come up, different profiles and shit like that. And all of a sudden, I saw a profile for her on Black Planet that she never mentioned. And yeah, she was a little redhead white girl. I love redheads. I can't help it. And all of a sudden, she got a profile on Black Planet. And I mean, hey, she told me she loved black men. That's why we was talking on MySpace. But this is it was just strange, because she was up in there talking. I saw, people were messaging her and little things like that. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, she a player, man. She ain't new to the game. She know what it is. And so she told me she loved. Matter of fact, she was a hairstylist, and she had learned to. And most, I knew she must have been good, because her clients were majority of them were black women, and she was, matter of fact, one of the first couple weeks after we started talking, she had a hairstyling competition she was going to in St. Louis. It was going up there. And I thought that was a joke. And then I saw that, I don't know if you saw that Chris Rock movie, Good Hair, where
Yeah.
got the documentary. And one of the things right towards the end is he went to a big competition out there where they was, people were doing different kind of fades and cuts, and the women were styling hair and doing all this. And I mean, you can win like $10,000 and all this kind of stuff if you won. So she was telling me about it. She was like, yeah, we go. She said, me and some of my girls that cut hair and style hair and everything, we go, and if you win, you can make some big money. And I was like, oh, that I thought it was, she was telling me that I saw that Chris Rock movie, but yeah, she was like that. And I saw, she was showing me some of the, they take pictures of different people when they do their hair and stuff. And she was showing me. And I mean, yeah, all her clients were like black women. It was like, so she must have been a down ass white girl, because she was really, the fact that the sisters was trusting her with their hair, I knew. But I don't know, we kind of fell apart. I was she was talking about giving me a sloppy toppy, and we just couldn't make it. We couldn't make it where we had some differences of opinion on certain things, and I was just like, oh, okay. But I enjoyed I used to talk to her. I mean, I was working on her for weeks and everything, and then we just couldn't seem to get on the right page and stuff. And I was just like,
You know what? That just made me think of a story. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my first. So we broke up because I found out he was talking to other women and he was talking to trans women. I did not have a problem with any of them.
Did you just say he was talking to trans women?
Yes.
So he was talking to dudes. I don't do that men. Trans shit. That was you talking to men.
They are not men. They are women. I respect that. I ain't hating. I don't live that life, and I can't judge anybody.
I'm not judging. I'm just telling you, was born a man. That's what it was.
He a freak. I knew he was an A1 freak, though.
Then
he's not bisexual. He's pansexual. Everybody can get it. So everybody can get it. Eric was just a freak. He still is. He got like an X videos account of him jacking off in different places because he's in the army, and he's just jacking off in different places. And I just going back to that, I mean, I'm with him, so I felt betrayed. So I gave him an ultimatum. I was like, look, either we're gonna get married and start planning to get married, or you gonna get the fuck on. And he was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna get the fuck on. And then 6 months later, he married a stranger he got in a car accident with.
Wait a minute.
And been married to her ever since.
Okay, so wait a minute. Is the person he married a natural born woman?
Correct.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering, and had he taken the Nestea plunge?
He has 4 kids with her.
Oh, and, they had babies.
They done had babies, yeah, and he adopted a child and with her, and I've been his mistress over the years. I stopped fucking with him. Like,
wait a minute, hold on. See, you be dropping these little nuggets out there, and then you be trying to move on, and then you try to move on like a drive-by. You be like, oh, I was his mistress, boom, and then you just move on. I was like, hold on, so let's rewind that. Let's go back. Okay. So he married the woman, and then you kept fucking with it.
Right, I kept fucking with him. I was fucking with him. I started talking to him or whatever after his first son was born, his child, because I don't know why dudes do this. You'll break a chick heart and then turn around and send her pictures of the child that you had with another woman. How does that work? And so he texted me pictures of his son, and I'm just sitting here like, what in the fuck? Like, why did you think this shit was cool, sir? But okay, whatever. My husband started acting a fool. I mean, really acting a fool. I found out he had a mistress that was his best friend, who is now about to be his second ex-wife. I found that shit out, and I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna start talking to him. I'm gonna start talking back to Eric. So I started talking back to Eric, and me and my husband separated. I was living in Atlanta. I started dating this guy that I wish I never dated in my life. But I dated him, and I opened him up to having an open relationship. He was really attracted. My boyfriend was really attracted to my friend Brandy. and I really wanted to fuck Eric. Like I wanted to fuck him bad. So Eric came. We had a party. We had a house party. Eric came down or whatever, and the whole time he had pulled up. The whole time his wife is blowing his phone up, blowing his phone up, blowing his phone up. Now I got my best friends here who are just happen to be his best friends because of me. And everybody's at the party. Everybody's like, turn your motherfucking phone off. Cause you ain't finna do shit. You ain't finna answer the phone, whatever. Turn your fucking phone off. She in Columbia, South Carolina with 2 babies. She's not about to hop in no car and drive no 5 hours to check you. Turn off your phone. So he did that, and we got real drunk. Everybody got real drunk. We had sex, and we decided that hey, we were gonna see each other again. And we decided to see each other on Memorial Day weekend that weekend. So me and my boyfriend got in the car. We drove up to my friend who stayed in Augusta. We drove up, picked her up, and then we drove up to Eric's house in Columbia, South Carolina. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. We pull up on the base. He running. He's just like, y'all follow me around the corner. And I was like, okay, cool. So we followed him around the corner. He got in the car. We checked in the on base hotel. And we're sitting
base
there.
hotel.
On base hotel. Yeah, base got their own little life. It's always interesting. So we checked in and we chilling. We were supposed to be just a 2-hour thing. And we're chilling or whatever. So we decided to break off. So it's me and him, and then my friend and my boyfriend, they're together in another room. So we're chilling, and one thing leads to another, and hey, we start fucking. And my boyfriend is in the shower fucking my friend in the shower. And
this is normal life for y'all. This is what y'all do. This is
just some fun shit to do. It ain't necessarily normal because we don't do it all the time.
Well,
it was off.
The reason I'm asking is because I know from my time on Adult Friend Finder, they had groups like this where people just hook up and they would have sex. So this is,
oh yeah,
I figured, I didn't know if you had just kind of created your own little thing. It's like, hey, we just do what we do. We live in the lifestyle.
I essentially did, and I did it out of boredom and just to see if he would be interested in doing it, and he was. So we getting it on, and they're in the shower getting on it, and they get out the shower. They come in the room. I'm sucking his dick. My boyfriend takes my head, starts bobbing my head on his dick, which I think that's just freaked me out because he had never like shown any type of like, hey, I'm gonna be like that. I'm like, okay, cool. So they go back to fucking. We fucking. What ends up being supposed to be a 2-hour situation ends up being 12 hours. He ends up staying there until 6 o'clock. Like, we didn't eat, we didn't sleep, we smoked blunts, we were tripping off this shit called Red Dawn. It's herbal ecstasy. So we were just tripping balls, and his phone was just blowing the fuck up. Like, just, minute after minute after minute after minute, to the point where it almost died. But 6 o'clock came around and he was just like, look, I need to go see how to figure this shit out, because his family drove up from Atlanta and from Orangeburg, South Carolina, to Columbia. So they all at the base at his wife's house, consoling her. First sergeant freaking out. All his other little soldiers that's under him freaking out. So everybody thinks something happened to him, like he got kidnapped and everything. Well, he did kind of, but but it was not really. But so we dropped him off, and he was just like, "I'm gonna make up some shit." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So an hour later, I get a text. He sends me a picture. He is in a hospital on the base with an IV drip in it. He went to his best friend. He worked at a hospital or base, so he got superiority in the hospital. So he went to his best friend and he told his best friend, like, "Hey, I've been fucking off. Like, I need a cover story." So they made up all types of charts and paperwork, basically saying they found him at 7 o'clock that morning and admitted him into the hospital, and he been in the ER the whole time. So everybody believe him. And I'm laughing my ass off. Oh, it's not done though. It's not done.
Okay.
Hour later, I get a text, and he was just like, "Come pick me up at my house. I'm gonna shoot you an address. Park in the back." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we get there. We park in the back, and we see it's pitch black, and we see lights on in his house and everything. And all of a sudden, we hear him storm out, like yelling and screaming and cussing with his dog, right? And he got an angry face. He's walking to the car. He got an angry face. As soon as he sees us, he dropped that angry face. He's just like, "Go around the corner in 5 minutes. I'll meet you there." What? So we pull around the corner and we hear him in there arguing. He arguing with his wife. He arguing with his family. He arguing with everybody. Everybody, right? And he just storms out. And he runs up to the car and he was like, "Pull off." And he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" in the back. And I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?" He's just like, "I just had a fake argument with my whole family and my wife just so I can get out here and hang out with you." What? What?
Oh my. Okay.
So we get back to the hotel. We have more sex. We have more sex. It's fun and whatever. And he gives me this proposition that, hey, what if you be my mistress? What if I put you up? You come down here, we hang out. I'm like, okay, cool, because I had always loved this man. Like, I never fell out of love with Eric. Now I can't stand his ass. Then, oh yeah, I can't stand his ass because he will cut me off because he's married and he gets these bouts of guilt. And then 7 years later, on the dot, I'm telling you, 7 years, every 7 years, he'll hit me up. And 2 years ago, he hit me up, and we ended up having a sexual conversation. And I was running a After Dark group at that time. So I added him to the group. Well, his mom is very obsessed about him remaining faithful to his wife. So his mom hacked his account and she was in the group. And I was telling the group about my situations that I had with him, my stories. So she heard everything. So you know what she did? She added his wife. She tried to add his wife. But the way my group is set up, I have to approve you in order for you to be added into the group. So the last conversation I had with him is that he was going to hit me up on his alt profile. Then he just blocked me from existence. I said, "You know what? I'm done with you and your dick." I'm done. So I sent him a long drunken letter. And I told all our mutual friends, I said, "Don't ask me about Eric. Don't talk to me about Eric or nothing." Well, they still want to give me updates. And one of the biggest updates they gave me was, here's his X videos account. And he's on there just whacking off everywhere. In the bathroom, in the hospital, in the car, at the Burger King, on the plane, like everywhere, man. So yeah, that's my story.
So I don't. Oh man. Okay. That's a lot to unpack.
It is. And he's the biggest dick I've ever fucked. It sucked. He's 13 inches.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so imagine you're a virgin and you're not only having to deal with losing your virginity to a 13-incher, okay? You're losing your virginity to somebody who is a super freak.
He's a super freak. Super freak.
I mean, super freak, bruh. And I was just like, I went from hating sucking dick. I hated it. I did not want to suck dick. I didn't want to ever suck dick. To being the throat monster. So
how does that go? How does that happen? I'm curious about how that happens.
I'm a pleaser. I like to please my men in bed. And I already knew what type of dude he was. I knew he was a big old freak. When we broke up in high school, a lot of the girls were talking about, we essentially broke up because I didn't want to sleep with him. And he respected that. Like, I didn't want to sleep with nobody. I didn't want to give my virginity away. And I ended up giving it to him because he was the person that I wanted to do it with. I just wasn't ready. But yeah, when we broke up or whatever, found out he fucking a whole bunch of chicks. And all the chicks coming back and telling me all the little nasty ass things that he like to do. And the main thing
Oh,
is,
so you thought he was faithful?
oh no, I ain't. Oh hell no.
Oh,
Hell
okay.
no.
That's
Hell
what
no.
I'm like. Okay, it sounds like
Hell no.
you got food into thinking he was loyal or something.
No, I know. Cause I already knew how he was. So
Okay.
I was just like, yeah. But they went back and came back and told me all this shit. They came back and told me this shit after we were broken up. And I'm just looking at them like, why the fuck you talking to me about this shit? Like he's not my dude. But they wanna tell me. And so the main thing that stuck out was like he loves getting dicks up. And
Well,
I'm like,
I love getting my dick sucked too.
I'm like, have you seen his dick, bitch? Like, I'm not sucking that shit. First off, that's nasty because they pee out that shit. You have to realize, like, I got nice full lips. So all my life, boys and guys have always told me that I had dick sucking lips. So I really hated the thought, right? DSLs. I really hated that thought of, oh my God, I'm finna suck some dick because every dude that come around me, you got some dick sucking lips. I bet you could suck a mean dick. And I'm just sitting there like,
they didn't say it to you, just like play. No, is there any foreplay before you just say that, or you just walk up to random people and say, hey, you have some dick sucking lips?
They would say that shit. I would be in the cafeteria, they'll come up to me, all that shit. And my naive, stupid ass, I went from a white school to being real popular to a black school and being like shunned and bullied for everything. So we had this fucking program. I don't know if you remember, they would have those little programs. They'll put all the fucking school in a gymnasium, and they have all these programs. You know,
we used to do that.
And one of the programs they had was to talk about virginity and shit. And my stupid ass, they go ask, "Oh, do we have any virgins in school? You know, it's okay being a virgin." My stupid ass stood up. Proud. When I tell you they put a target on my back, motherfucker. I walked the fuck out that damn gym and just start getting hit on by every dude that could possibly hit on me. Even the really pretty, cute motherfuckers who couldn't stand my fat ass. Thought I was ugly and everything. Trying to holler. You know, I know you're a virgin. You know, I can give you a good experience. What?
I have reclaimed my virginity. I'm trying to be like these bitches out here that get saved and decided they have rededicated their body to Christ. And so I saw some chicks like that where they were just like, I'm not a virgin, but I have reclaimed my virginity in the name of Jesus. And I was sitting there going, huh? The whole thing, I don't know. It's I feel like once you done had sex, that's what it is. I mean,
Lisa Ray doing that currently, and I can't blame her. She done been through some shit.
Yeah. Trust me, her story. Yeah, she done kind of had.
She done had some shit.
She was out there getting blowed out. She been out there getting.
I can't even blame her to be like, look, I don't want to fuck with none of you motherfuckers.
It's like them chicks that Prince used to fuck with. Like what was it? Apollonia.
Yeah, she turned over to Christ.
Yeah. Oh my God, he must have done. And you know what I was watching the other day? I was watching some shit about Rick James, and I had heard, you know, because he went to jail for some of that, you know, some of these documentaries talking about him tying chicks up and burning them and doing all that shit.
Mm-hmm. I was like, all that shit.
I was like, what the hell? I mean, he had to do like 10 years for that shit. I was like, damn, Rick was on some. It was too much. Vanity. Yeah, Vanity called religion too. That is true.
All of them motherfuckers, and all because they fucking. And not only did Prince and fucking Rick and all them turn these bitches out, they didn't just turn them out. They fucked them over. Like they would have stories about that shit. Fucking Tina Marie, Paul Tina Marie, he fucked her up, man.
Tina Marie, yeah. Tina Marie, see, that's like that goes back to what we was talking about at the beginning about the down ass white girl. That's Tina Marie right there.
That was,
and I'm like, yeah, that's Tina Marie is definitely the down ass white girl. She sing like a black chick, you know. She was very black accessible.
She was down for the cause, and he drug her through it. My mom always told me, we were watching that shit one day a couple years ago, and she told me, she was just like, if you sit up here and tell a man that, hey, I'm gonna be down with you forever, they're gonna take you through for whatever. And that's exactly what he did. He took her through whatever, and then got mad because she didn't want to get back with him. Why would you?
But it's crazy. It's crazy that Tina Marie and Rick James are both dead.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right.
That they both are gone.
She was found in a tub.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. The whole thing, it makes, you made me think about this chick, Heather, that I used to mess with. And I don't know, I liked Heather. And she had this cute, normally I don't like dating girls that's got babies and stuff. She had a little girl, but I feel like the girl was still young. At that time, the girl was only about a year and a half. And she didn't tell me, I think, we had met online, and she didn't tell me that she had the little girl at first. And I think, which I've heard some experts say, hey, if you're trying to date and you got a kid, you need to let that person know immediately so that they, that way you don't waste your time, all that good shit, right? And then I've heard some say, well, you don't want to just be bringing men in and out of your kid's life all the time. So if you're not sure about that person, you don't want to introduce that person to your child. But we had been talking, and I mean, we, just talking on the phone and everything. And it was, I don't know, we had a connection. I can't even explain it. I'd never met this bitch in my life. We never met in person. We were just talking on the phone, texting and emailing and stuff. And I started feeling like I can't explain it. And that's like, people go Google me. I fell in love with this bitch over the phone, just talking to her, just sending pictures back and forth and just telling her about my family, her telling me about her family. She was half Italian, half Hawaiian. And her father was racist as fuck. She was telling me about her father. Her father couldn't stand that she was fucking around with black dudes and stuff. But her daughter, she got pregnant by some black dude who wasn't shit. And matter of fact, she told me he was in jail. He might still be in jail now, but when her daughter was a little baby, he was, he got her pregnant, he got locked up. And her father, came around. He saw his little grandbaby and he came around, but he really don't like black people. She was telling me that on the regular.
Damn.
That's how her father got down. So, but like I said, couple weeks, about 6-7 weeks, us talking back and forth, because she lived about 90 miles away, and we wasn't sure where we wanted to meet yet. And I said, okay. And it was starting to get pretty serious. We was talking some real shit. And I said, okay, let's have this conversation. And let's set up. So she was gonna come. She was like, well, what about my daughter? I said, hell, bring your daughter with you. And I was like, bring her. I was like, if we're gonna be together, then I'm gonna need to meet her too. And so this is, I actually took a vacation. I actually put vacation time in so I could spend time with this chick, because I was like, she was coming. She was gonna come for the weekend, and then she was gonna be there for like 4 days. I think she was gonna be with me. She was gonna actually stay. It was gonna be me, her, and her daughter, and we was gonna hang out, right? So I didn't sit there and spend all this money. I went out and got like little kitty, the little drinks that the kids drink. I was trying to bring shit in that kids would like, because I was like, I don't know. I was like, got little bags of chips and stuff, so the little girl have little snacks. I spent all this money, and I think she got scared. She got real scared. And I text, and all of a sudden she stopped answering my phone call. And I was like, that's weird. I mean, when I'm telling you, I'm talking to this chick every day for weeks and weeks, 3 or 4 times a day. We were texting all day, all night, all this kind of stuff. I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. And I knew her Yahoo Messenger and all that because we used to talk on Yahoo Messenger and all this. This is it was it was crazy. I was like, I sent her an email and I said, hey, I don't know what happened. This is what's going on. I was like, I don't know. Did something happen? Something spooked you? Something made you, it's like, I don't know. I was like, I was really looking forward to seeing you. She went right back. About, I don't know, it was about a year later. I hadn't heard from this chick. I hadn't heard this chick in almost a year. And I just got this random ass email from her. And she said she wanted to apologize and she hated how she just ghosted me like that. And she said, but she told me one thing she told me, and it kind of goes back to something we was talking about right at the beginning, is that she had made some kind of bad decisions when she meet people online and stuff. And she said she had a date with a guy and he raped her. That's something she told me. And she said it happened, a few weeks before me and her started talking, and she had got raped. She was trying to put her life back together, but she was too afraid to tell me she had got raped. And the whole thing was messed up. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, wow. Like I said, and then she disappeared, and then I didn't hear from her for like a year. And when we started talking again, the connection wasn't the same. It was different. I didn't have no feelings. I didn't have hard feelings because at that point, after I didn't talk to her for a while, I just met somebody else and I just started dating and I dated a couple of girls and it was what it was.
Fall through the cracks.
But when we reconnected, it was different. It just didn't feel the same. She had decided to go back she was taking some college courses and she was trying to do all this kind of stuff. And it just seemed like she wasn't into me. Like that first time she was into me. I'm telling you, she was into me and her, but now her daughter's like almost 4 at that point. She's sending me pictures of her daughter, all this kind of thing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Little Abe was cute. Blah, blah, blah. She's cute. And I was like, okay. We started talking about maybe meeting again, trying to reschedule that or whatever. It seemed like I said, it just didn't seem the same. The spark wasn't there like it was the first time. And so I started going, okay, well, I said, well, this might be some pussy then, or whatever, Then she wanted to add me on Facebook. So then we added each other on Facebook. And I started noticing she was doing stuff. And I was like, okay. She was it just wasn't it seemed like she would say something and then there'd be like these dudes talking in her pictures and stuff, on her comment section. I was like, okay. So I was like, she's not, but like I said, when the first time we talked, it was strong. There was a connection. I was like, this second time, it just didn't seem like anything was going on. And I said, hey, if you're not into me, it's cool. I was like, I'd just rather not waste anybody's time. And she was like, no, Antonio, it's not that. But you seem like you just want me to drop everything I'm doing just to be with you. And I was like, it's not that I want you to drop everything, but when we used to talk before, you seemed like we had time for each other. Now it just seems like I'm an inconvenience. It just, like, I'm saying, hey, what you doing? I'm studying right now. So I mean, she just, and I'd be like, oh, okay, so I guess I'm bothering you then. Okay, well, I'd be like, well, you hit me up when you have time or something. And I, when a chick's into you, if she say, hey, I'm busy, I'll hit you back later. A couple hours later, that girl gonna hit you back. And I'm talking about a day. I said, so I did a little test. I said, okay, let me go a couple days. I'm not gonna text her. Let's see what happens. Sure enough, a couple days go by. She ain't texting me at all. She ain't saying shit to me. So that should have been red flag right there to me. That, she's not hitting me back because I'm not answering her and stuff. I'm not getting hey, what's going on? You haven't texted me? You haven't tried to call me or anything. And, 3 or 4 days, maybe I was just thirsty as fuck, whatever, But I did like her. I really liked her. I said, she's beautiful. kind of, big bosoms, nice. Her hair's not really blonde, but she had a nice little dye job on it and stuff, and nice cheekbones. I mean, she's just beautiful. I guess that Hawaiian and that white just kind of mixed this kind of perfect blend together. Because she kind of had like the Asian features on some of it, and I thought she was real cute. And yeah, I mean, like I said, a couple days go by, and I was like, okay, this bitch ain't hitting me up, and she didn't seem to care that I wasn't hitting her up. And so at that point, I unfriended her, and I was like, all right, then. And then, but I kept thinking about her, and I said, hey, she goes, well, I just, like I said, I felt like you just want me to drop everything and just, do all that. And I was like, no, I just, I thought if we were going to be together, I was like, based on everything that happened the last time, I felt like we reconnected. I would like it to actually go somewhere this time. And she was like, I understand that. And she said, you just don't understand, Antonio, I'm going through a lot of stuff. And I just really feel like, I can't afford to pick the wrong guy this time. I need a guy that's, really going to be there for me and all this kind of stuff. I said, right, I get it. And I said, I'm going to be there. She said, I've got a daughter and I just can't afford to make the wrong decision this time. I said, okay. I said, well, all right. So then she sent me a friend request again. We back on Facebook. I'm trying to talk to her. We're not on the same page. It just doesn't feel the same as it did a year before. And at that point, I can't, it was blowing my mind because I really liked this girl. Really liked her. And then
really wrong. Sorry.
Oh Lord. But no, I really liked her. And at that point, everybody was like, dude, you need to walk away from this bitch. You just sound like she ain't into you, and you got other shit going on. There's other women around here you can date, and she was, like I said, she lived 90 miles away, so it was kind of crazy. So I said, okay. But we stayed friends on Facebook. I didn't unfriend her this time, and so it was kind of hard watching her on Facebook, and I'd see that she was out dating people or going out and all that. That shit was driving me nuts. So I actually had to put her on mute because it was driving me nuts when I go on Facebook and see her on, sitting there with another guy or whatever, and all of that shit. It was fucked up. And then, she, I would post something and then she would comment or whatever, and I was like, oh man, I really want to date her, and then all of a sudden she put a post up on her Facebook page. She was pregnant again. And I was like, well, there you go. I was like,
I did it.
Yeah, that was like, she pregnant again by a new black guy. She got another black guy and he got her pregnant. And again, he was a piece of shit. And then I hear from her again. So she's pregnant now. And now I guess I'm the safe guy. I don't know. It just seemed weird because I was like, she been ignoring me and not answering me back. And all of a sudden, she sent me a message. Hey, I'm sorry about everything. I was going through some stuff. And I said, hey, I saw you having a baby. Congratulations. She's like, Dad's a piece of shit and he doesn't want anything to do with the baby. And so I was like, so am I that guy? Am I the safe guy that you want to dump on? Because now you got two babies. You got one already, and you already told me that dad was a piece of shit. Now you got another baby on the way, and you told me that dad was a piece of shit. So, Antonio gonna fix that. Antonio's stable. Antonio keep a regular job. I'm that motherfucker that you just gonna bring two babies that ain't mine, and I'm supposed to be the man and take care of them. And I said, that's not me. I could have took the one because, like I said, she had the one little girl and she was just a year and a half old. And I was like, that girl is still coachable. You know what I'm saying? She young. Her dad's not in her life. You know, because one of my exes, she had 2 kids and I was dating her. She had 2 kids with 2 different guys. And her one daughter was 13 and the son was 5. The son was real respectful. The daughter was getting in that age where she was like, "You ain't my daddy." She was doing that shit. And I mean, I put up with that shit for 4 years. And I told myself, I said, I ain't going through that shit. Even though her mother would give me that sloppy toppy and just knock that, I was beating the brakes out that monkey. Boy, I was beating. Me and her, we had crazy sex. But the 2 kids, I feel like I'd probably still be with her right now if she didn't have kids. And I was like, I feel like if she hadn't had them kids, and that probably sounds horrible, but if she didn't have kids, we probably would, because that's something that we end up talking about later after we try to become, you know, at least be cordial and stuff years later. Matter of fact, she told me the other day her daughter's getting married. Her daughter's like 23 now. Her daughter's getting married. She already had a baby by a dude when she got pregnant when she was 18. And her and the dude broke up. But now she's with another dude. Because she was gonna marry the son's father, and then that dude turned up to be an asshole, and she decided they seeing other people now. He's seeing somebody else, she's seeing this guy. And I guess he popped a question, and they're getting married on, matter of fact, it's coming Sunday on the 15th. They're getting married the day after my birthday, so they're getting married up there in the park in Nashville. And she was like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "Melissa's getting married." I was like, "Okay, well, congratulations," you know. But shit, but I feel like that relationship wouldn't have failed to shit if it wasn't. But she said, that's one thing she said, "I don't think you were ready to be a father." I think I could have made the thing with the other girl work when she just had the one and the girl was real young. I feel like I could have done that. But once she got pregnant with the other, and she ended up having the other baby, and it was a boy. So now she got 2 kids, 1 boy, 1 girl, and you know, they both by black dudes, but 2 different black dudes. And you know, her mom and dad are like, "Oh my God, she keeps messing with these black guys. What's going on?" Oh, and she put this long post about, you know, even though she's made mistakes, God still loves her. She's putting the picture of the echo, what do they call it, the echo ultrasound or whatever the hell. Yeah, that's what it does. She put the ultrasound up, showing that it was going to be a boy. And so it made sense. She was, at that point when she had the ultrasound, she was almost 6-7 weeks in. So she knew when I started having some of the issues with her and she stopped returning I was like, okay, so that's why she wasn't returning my texts and stuff, because she was fucking around with this dude that knocked her up. And that's one thing she was like, "I know that sounds horrible, but he was actually here, and you're like 90 minutes away, and you're not right. If you were here, we could have figured everything out." And I was like, right, but I didn't know how I met her. I actually met her on Craigslist. She had answered one of my ads. And I was very honest about where I was. I didn't know she was 90 minutes away. Or 90 miles away. I didn't know she lived 90 miles away. And I was like, okay, so she answered my ad, and then me and her were cool, and then she told me where she lived. I said, "Oh shit, that's a drive. You know, shit. It'll take almost an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to your ass." And you know, I don't want to be making that drive all the damn time. And she don't want to make that drive all the damn time. Especially at that time, it was crazy. It was, the gas was starting to get up to like $3 and something. It was like, I was out driving the other day and I looked and the gas was $1.94. I was like, oh boy, I can tell it's an election year, boy. They trying to make sure that gas stay under a certain amount. But yeah, you know, it don't matter what, they'll open the barrel, the oil reserves up and everything to get that gas down when that gas gets up there. Because I remember when Bush was in office and that gas, it got up to like almost $4 a gallon. That was crazy. You was making life decisions about whether you wanted to be driving or not. So I worked at a gas station, and I'm telling you, there were points where I could almost pitch the tent and set it up in the middle of the road, and nobody would have hit me for about 30, 40 minutes. It was that crazy. And but I don't know. Like I said, I really liked her, and she got pregnant with the second baby. And I was still trying to, hey, congratulations. And like I said, she done fucked up whoever the father was, he done blew off. I don't want the baby. All this shit, So she done got knocked up by a piece of shit. And so she was like, I really could use someone that goes, that I could depend on. I'm pregnant and all of. And I'm like, I started thinking about it, man. I was like, that ain't my motherfucking baby. The fuck am I gonna do? I was like, of course you cool with talking to me now, cause the dude that you fucked up with. She was like, I really thought, I really liked you and everything, but you weren't here and everything, and it's just I needed somebody and he was there, and I was like, oh, okay. You explaining all this shit to me. I was like, that was fucked up. So at that point, so she had the baby, it was a boy. And she kept, she was like, okay, I'm gonna finish my school up now, girl, and all this kind of thing. And she ended up meeting. It is what threw me off. She ended up meeting and getting engaged to this crazy white dude. he was kind of a nerdy little white dude up there in Nashville. And I was like, okay, I guess well. Because she came around Nashville a few times, and I was like, yo, you right in within the vicinity, we could meet. And then she never wanted to take that. She'd always have an excuse of why we couldn't, we were close, we could meet. And then she was like, oh no, I don't want to. Well, I'm with someone else, and I don't want to drive out of the way to do that. I was like, okay, cool. And she kept coming because she was one of those, like, how on Facebook, like if you go to a restaurant, you check in, be like, like the Mad Weirdo is at Olive Garden, it's that kind of shit. So she would be tagging herself in the places up in Nashville, and I would text her. I said, hey, looks like you're close. Oh, I've got a friend with me. I can't go. I was like, okay, I got you. So once that happened, and she kept coming, and she was within, she was less than an hour away, and I knew we could meet, and she didn't want to meet. I was like, oh, okay, I got you. So at that point, it was just it was just too much. And then I saw the dude that she got she got engaged. I was like, okay. I said, this must be a good dude. He got 2 half black kids with 2 different fathers. And I was like, is the pussy that good? Did he hypnotize her? Did she hypnotize him with that monkey? Is that what happened? It was too much.
That's just weird to me. You see you talking about a woman who has kids. It's always weird to me how men are, their thought processes are, they will not fuck with a single mother. They will not, especially if they don't have kids. They won't do it. But the flip side of that is me being a woman with no kids, I still get the trash. Not only do I get
you talking about guys with kids or multiple kids?
Well, not only do I get the trash, I get the trash, and they got little kids, and then they got BBMs. They got bitter baby mamas attached to that. There's not a man that I've dated that had children that didn't have a bitter baby mama.
Well, I gotta say, I noticed that, especially when I was putting ads up, they would ask me, they'd go, do you have kids? Do you have children? And I was like, no.
Right.
And I think they're especially, like I said, on Saturday I'll be 45, so I guess they expect if a guy is past 30 or whatever, he's got a couple kids maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And so they seem shocked. I just I don't know.
They treat me like I'm the diamond in the rough. Like I'm such an anomaly to them. Like, oh my God, you're 34 and you don't have kids.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have
kids. my thought process is why the fuck? Like now, I'm really skeptical on dating and being with a guy that has kids, and I say that because my dom has two kids with two different women, one 11 and one just turned one this year, and he ended up getting a girl pregnant while we were talking because I wasn't there, you know, and when he realized what a mistake he did, ooh, I'm pregnant. So they had the baby. Not only did they have the baby, she ended up naming the baby one of my baby names. Men have a thing with that. They'll get with women that end up naming their baby my baby names. They don't even know. It just happens. So I thought that was weird or whatever. But the way I see it is I'm in my lane. I'm staying in my lane. Whatever you got going on with her, that's your business. Just as long as it don't make it my business, but good. So I'm just sitting here like, I don't know what about this. I don't know all about this because his first baby mama is a bitter baby mama to the core. He called her Maleficent. Okay. I mean Maleficent because she is evil. She done got him jumped by 4 dudes and they got him put in a coma where he almost died. And it was crazy. And I'm hearing this stuff and I'm just like, man, you're just the most remarkable dude I've ever dated in my life. Your mind is wonderful, but you got some crazy ass shit going on here. You got some real fucked up shit. And that's why I stay away from dudes who have kids because they never have like no clean cut. Hey, me and my baby mama are cool. We ain't got no issues. We ain't got no drama. No, it's either I got a bitter baby mama and she don't like it because I done moved on, or I got a bitter baby mama because I'm essentially playing both of y'all on each other. I'm still fucking her every time I go over and pick up the kid. It's always some complicated ass shit. So I'm just like, no. But I've done that. I cut dudes off. Like I would not talk to anybody. And I went 2 years having a dry spell. 2 years. Because the guys that I started dating that didn't have kids felt so stuck up about it. They had, I am the best. I'm wonderful. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no baby mamas. My credit, this, and I'm doing this. And they would look at me, and I had one guy tell me I'm damaged goods. Said, why would I deal with you? You're damaged goods. I said, how am I damaged goods? Because you're in your 30s and you don't have kids. You damaged. Like nobody didn't want to knock you up before. Something's wrong with that. I said, what if it was because I didn't want to get knocked up? Or it was hard for me to get pregnant? You're still damaged goods. Plenty of fish will show you some trifling shit. So when I started dating online, and that would be my thing, my preference, no men with kids. Either I would get inboxes from dudes who got kids and they would cuss me out and talk about how stuck up I am, or I would get a stuck up dude who has no kids and be like, why should I date you?
I get weird shit when I do online dating. No, it doesn't matter. I'm on like all the different dating sites I'm on. I get weird shit. Like I'm on OkCupid. I get a lot of transgender women in my, and they'll be like 92% match. I'll be like, that motherfucker got a cock and balls. That is not a 92% match to me. If you got a fucking dick, I'm not interested. And I wish that they would put those particular people in another section or something, because they have a section for gay. You know what I'm saying? They have you can be gay and looking for, same sex. But they don't consider themselves gay.
But they're not gay.
So, well, I would consider myself gay for being with someone that was born a man.
I agree with that. I feel like they do need to have parameters because there's so many different, not just man, woman no more. They're non-binary people. They're
all that
people.
shit.
They're people. And when I told my mom about asexuality, she was just like, there are really people on this earth who have no interest in having sex. I said, yeah, I know somebody like that. None.
That's another one. Yeah. Where
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of these frigid bitches. I hate to say that. I know that probably sounds wrong. But and this is something I didn't understand this when I was with my last fiance. She said that she was asexual or whatever the fuck. Where even though she came out of a relationship with a woman, she had been in a relationship with a woman for about 5 years, but the way she would talk about it sounded more like they were roommates that would kind of masturbate each other a lot. It was that kind of stuff. Because I even asked her, I said, okay, so when you would go down on her and stuff, how would that? She said, I never went down on her. I was like, what? I was like, it blew my mind because I was asking her and I thought that they were like doing the scissor things and all that. She told me what they would do. You know, they had toys. They would get each other off and, you know, they would finger each other and do all that kind of stuff. But, you know, she was talking about that she didn't really feel comfortable with people going down on her and stuff.
Right.
And then I went down on her and she was like, oh, okay, that wasn't that. Okay, cool. And I was like, that became a regular thing, but it just seemed, but she said she didn't like doing that to the girl. And she had never been with a man before outside of she dated some guy that she had met at like Bible camp. And she had told me that her family was real religious. And they went to some kind of, you know, Christian fellowship camp or something. And she met this guy and they dated for like 3 years. She was in college with him. And I said, okay, so you slept with him. I thought, because when she told me she had been with this guy, I automatically assumed she had sexual relations with this guy. And she goes, you telling me you've been with a guy 3 years? I expected some fucking happened at some point in time. And she was like, are you kidding me? No.
Right.
We never had sex.
Right.
Ever. She said, having sex outside of marriage was just something that we did not do. That was just off the table. And I was like, but you said you was with him for 3 years. She's like, I was.
Yep.
But they held hands and they kissed.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. I have a friend that has been with their husband for 8 years. They've never had sex. Neither one of them.
Whoa, hold on. You said husband though.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. They both asexual. They have no interest in sex.
But they're married and they don't have
matter.
sex.
They don't have no. That's the thing with human beings. Every human thinks that people are just in a box. We're not in a box.
I'm putting you in a box, damn it. I'm sorry, you in a box.
The world ain't black and white. We're gray as fuck. Your whole outlook is gray as fuck. I'm stepping in because I wanted to apologize for anybody that's asexual out there listening. We're not making fun. It's just we're trying to understand.
I'm definitely not making fun, but the whole thing was weird to me. And so I was with a woman, you know, for a little over a year. And when we broke up, she just said, look, I really don't like having sex. And I probably should have told you that right up.
Right.
I was like, I had so much fun having sex with her. And she was faking it the whole time. When she told me, she was like, yeah, I didn't like having sex with you. I'm sorry.
Right. Some asexual people, they have sex with their partners to make them happy.
Yeah, so and that's what she was
like.
Get
nothing out of it.
She was like, yeah, I'm not. I was like, but the orgasm. She said, well, I'll admit the orgasms were real. She said the orgasms were real. I didn't fake those. But the getting my head in the process of having sex with you, she said I would have to mentally talk myself into it.
Okay. I'll help you out with a good I guess comparison. What's your what's the food that you hate the most?
Oh no. Is pretty much I don't like vegetables. I don't like onions and stuff.
I mean, think of a dish that you loathe or a piece of food that you loathe the most and you would not eat it to save your life.
Chitlins, something like that.
Okay. So let's imagine that you got a wife, right? Mm-hmm. And she loves the fuck out of some chitlins, dog. Mm-hmm. She not only does she love the fuck out of some chitlins, that's her best dish. And she prides herself on this dish. She loves the fuck out of chitlins. Okay. So
Mhm.
she cooks chitlins all the time. And
Oh,
you know that you hate chitlins. But you
yes.
know your wife is so happy because she loved these motherfucking chitlins.
Oh,
You gonna sit at the table, you go put some hot sauce, some barbecue sauce, whatever fuck you need to get it down your gullet with a big ass smile on your face and be like, "Man, these chitlins is delicious. They're wonderful," because it makes her like completely happy. It makes her day. That's how it is.
because I'm gonna tell you, because it was. This is what I kind of had when I fell in love with her. I mean, I was, like I said, she seemed like she was my better half. She seemed like, my soulmate, all that good shit. And she, I in my previous relationship, I had fallen out of love with her, but I was trying not to, I was like, damn, we had spent all this money. We were about to get married and stuff. And like I said, she didn't want to talk about rape and all this kind of nonsense, right? So at that point, I was like, fuck, I hate this bitch, but, I didn't, we done spent all this money and things are supposed to happen. And I really don't want to marry this bitch, but I'm trying to be nice. And then she just got crazier and crazier. And at that point, people start saying, look, if you're not happy, man, because I even talked to my brother. They're like, oh, man, I'm so happy for you. My brother's been married for, I think, like 26 years now. My brother's been married a while. And because, yeah, I mean, I think my brother got married when I was like 19. They said a couple more days, I'll be 45 years old. And he was like, man, I'm so happy for you. You got this woman. She really seems into you and you're in love and all. And I said, I don't love her. And he was blown away by that. He was like, you don't love her? I was like, no, man. I said, honestly, I think I just don't want to be alone. He looked at me. Matter of fact, it was a couple of days later. He said, I talked to my wife about that. It was fuck with. He said, when you just said that, he said, because you didn't hesitate. You just said it so plainly that you weren't in love and you just were afraid that you were just going to die alone or some shit. And I was like, yeah, man. I said, I'm not in love. I said, I know what love feels like.
Right.
That feeling that you have where you just can't stand to not be around that person. And I was like, it just don't feel like that. It don't make my heart flutter. I know that feeling. I've been in love and I'm in like, and I'm not even sure I'm in like anymore. And so I broke up with her. And matter of fact, towards the end there, we wouldn't even have sex anymore. That was one of her problems. She was like, I like to have sex and you won't even touch me. And I was like, yeah, because you just start getting on my fucking nerves. I don't want to fuck you. You get on my
Wow.
nerves. It was like that. I just, why would I fuck you? You get on my nerves. And then I met Catherine, who was my last fiance. I met her. And all of a sudden, I was like, man, I just don't have libido anymore. And all this, I just don't. And then I met Catherine and the libido came back. I was wanting to have sex all the time. I was like, I thought I was broken. And now I've met you and I want to have sex all the time. And I just crave her body. I love laying next to her. I love just being naked with her and just lying next to her and cuddling and all that. She was incredible. It's like, I was like, this is, oh God, I love her and I'm happy. And all of a sudden, the same thing that I felt with the ex, she's feeling with me. She's regretted. Just, oh God, I can't stand this guy. Oh my God, I can't. Oh God, I can't. I don't want him to touch me. When we broke up, she's telling me that she's having these feelings about me, that she didn't like me touching her. She didn't want. She knew. She prayed for her period. She told me, like, she knew that was the only time. So like, if her period was happening, she knew I didn't want none. And she, although there was a couple times where I was like, I'll just get a towel, and she was like, no sex during the period. So she told me straight up. She said, I would pray for my period because I knew then that would give me a little time out. And she said, and all of a sudden the period would be over. And then I knew you would start wanting to have sex again. And I was like, yeah, God. I was like, why didn't you? I said, I tried to talk to you because I could tell towards the end there the energy was different, and it felt like I don't know. It was like I was with a robot or something, where I felt like, hi, sweetie, wow, that kind of it just wasn't. There wasn't affection. It was she was doing things out of obligation, which by the end there, like she wrote me like three-page letter, and she was just doing shit out of obligation. She didn't love me anymore. She was just being honest about it. She just didn't love me anymore. And she said, I tried.
Right.
And she said, I just don't feel that way. And she said, that's when she told me the thing. She said, I guess I should have been more honest with you. I'm kind of asexual. And I wish I had been more honest with you about that, but I was trying to be a good girlfriend. And I knew that you wanted sex, so I went along with it, but I was never like, oh God, we're about to have sex. It's exciting. This is how it would go. I remember she'd be like sitting in the living room, in one of the love seats or whatever. And she'd go in there and she'd be watching Netflix. She'd be watching one of them horrible shows that she used to watch. I remember she used to not, she was watching something, and I'd lean over the chair and I'd kiss her and start kissing her neck. And she was like, do I need to pause this? That's how she would say it. She was like, do I need to pause this? Because she knew, I'm kissing the neck and everything. She's like, okay, let me pause this and I'll go in and have sex with you. And then I'll put my clothes back on and go back out here and watch my show. That's how it would go. And I guess I should have been like, because basically I knew once she done put me to bed, because, once she done, I'd have been rode hard. At that point, I'm like, oh, good, it's time for a nap. That's what, I done got me a shower. She done knocked that thing out, and now she can go back and watch her Netflix. And she was like, oh man, you were out for a while. And I was like, yeah, you kind of knocked me out there. And she was like, but it was crazy. Sex would have the complete opposite effect with her, because I'd want to cuddle and stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of a softie like that. We have sex. I want to snuggle. I want that warmth. I want that feeling. I want to kiss you on the forehead, and I want to rub your shoulders, and I want you to rub. I want to hold each other and do all that. And I don't know. Some people think that's weird. I guess that's weird that I like to do that. But I'm a man. I'm not supposed to want to cuddle, I guess. But I want that. And she would, okay, sex is up, and she'd get up and immediately get dressed and get a cloth. Boom, boom. Let me wash your. She'd come in with the cloth. Hey, let me wash your dick. Boom. All right. Boom. All right. Are you not? You're just gonna take a nap? Yeah. Give me a kiss. She'd shut the door, and I'd go to sleep for a couple hours, and I'd hear her. And she'd be in there. I mean, she would be like repositioning all the dishes in the cabinets and stuff. I remember I'd knocked out for like 3 hours. I got up and she was in there mopping the floor and shit. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, I can't ever sleep after we have sex, so I have to clean." And that was her thing. She'd get up, start cleaning and washing dishes and scrubbing shit, taking all the trash out. And I felt bad because I was like, You took the trash out? She said, yeah, you were asleep. I was like, leave the trash. I'll take it out when I get up. No, I wanted the trash out now. So I took it out. And I was like, the whole thing was fucked up. And I was just like, but she's like, I can't sleep after sex. It makes me want to like clean and stuff.
That was an excuse. My friends who are asexual, they call that purging. They have to purge themselves of the icky feeling of having sex because they don't want it.
Oh, so that's what it was?
That's what it was.
I always thought that was weird because I'm telling you, she would get up, start doing laundry and shit. She'd get in, scrub the bathtub, do all this kind of shit. And she would do it. I was like, damn.
Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, she really did not want to stay in the bed and cuddle because it was, she know I like to cuddle. So she'd give me like 15, 20 minutes. She'd be like, okay, he's going to want to cuddle. I'll give him about 20 minutes. And she would lay there and she was like, she would look at me and go, babe. I go, yeah. She said, are we done? Or are we going to go again? Or, I was like, no, I just wanted to hold you. She's like, well, okay. Well, I want to get up and do some cleaning or something. Yeah, that's not gonna hurt your feelings, right? I was like, oh, okay. Do what you need to do. And I was like, I don't know. It was,
That's fucked up.
yeah, I know it was fucked up. It was fucked up.
That's fucked up.
But I
But
was happier than I'd ever been in my entire life.
that's an example of how women just shove stuff down to make guys happy. Like we will shut it down. I remember a guy that I was with. I hated sex with him because it just didn't satisfy me. One,
Mm.
this was pre-orgasm. This is before I met Mr. Magic Stick, and I wasn't getting no orgasms. So sex was just something to do to me. Um, I didn't really necessarily like it because after we'd had sex or whatever, I'd have to find a vibrator or something and
Oh,
get
wow.
myself off via clitoral stimulation
Damn.
because I'm not getting happy. But I would deal with it because I love him and all this other stupid ass shit that we women tell ourselves to deal with the dumb shit. But I just did not like sex because he just would get in there and just start ramming me and ramming me. And my first did that too with that 13-inch stick, ramming me. And I had a conversation with him and I let him know, like, I've never had an orgasm with you. You never made me orgasm. He's just like, I know. I said, so why are you continuing to fuck me? And he was just like, he's like, I like the intensity of our sex. That's why we have sex. I was like, yeah, but I'm not getting anything off of it. And that's what stemmed me from, like, I guess hating that shit to me turning it into a fetish now. I really believe that that's where my cuck women came from because I just was not enjoying sex at all. It was just simply something to do. So I can totally understand and relate to people that are asexual. I can also relate to women. I had a cousin that just had a baby last year, and I was talking to him, and he was just like, "Well, my wife don't want to give me no sex, man. When we having sex, I could tell that she don't like that shit and whatever." Come to find out, the wife's doctor gave her what they like to call a slit when she was a husband slit or a husband knot, as they would like to call it. Basically, what it does is it tightens up the pussy for the men to enjoy sex, but it makes it excruciatingly painful and uncomfortable. And hormonally, it could throw off a woman and kill her sex,
I don't
kill
even
her
know what
sex
that
drive,
is.
kill
Oh,
her shit.
oh,
And I knew women that had babies and had this happen, and they found out it
oh. So
happened.
she had babies, or by him,
Yeah,
or somebody else.
she had a baby by him, and the doctor did that without telling her. Told him, didn't tell her
How the
that
fuck do they do that?
they do that. They've been doing that for decades. Decades.
Ugh.
They will fuck up your body so a man can enjoy it. And
Legally?
so legally, yeah, legally. And they're just now being called out for that shit. But yeah, that's why I said if I ever have a child, it would always be a female doctor, never a male doctor, because they tend to do that. And what ends up happening is your sex drive shut off, and it's just horrible. I would have friends who would just tell me how traumatized they are about having sex because it's either excruciating painful or they just don't want to do it, and they don't know what's wrong with them and what's happening, and then they found out that happened. So just imagine, that's temporary. You can get that taken care of, but just imagine you having to live that shit for your rest of your life and
Yeah.
not know. That's how it is for women. Sometimes we have to we still do it because we love our man and we want to make our man happy and we don't want our man to cheat on us and everything. Well, my cousin cheated on her because of this, and then when he found out what happened, he felt bad. I said, "Oh, I didn't feel bad at all. I didn't feel bad for him feeling bad. He should feel bad, you know, for you not understanding this woman carried your child in her for 9 months, and you just worried about your dick.
Ugh.
Ugh. Right, right. I was just
It's like
like,
the whole thing fucks me up because, like I said, I don't know. I'm trying to.
it's weird. There's so much to life other than sex, and that's how I see it. For
Well,
asexual
I don't
people,
think sex is the only thing, but I definitely would like to have a healthy sexual relationship with my partner.
right? Because you're a sexual person. Just imagine
But
if you
they're
weren't.
not sexual.
They're not sexual, and they get other gratifications that sex gives sexual people. Like we have sex because we enjoy it, right? Because we enjoy the process, we enjoy the stimulation, all that. But they get those same feelings off of hugging or spending quality time or doing, you know, for their partner, doing things with their partner. They get off on that. Like those two, that like I said, they've been together for 8 years. They do all types of shit together. They go to Disney World and Disneyland. They go overseas. They do all types of shit together to make up for the fact that they don't have sex or they have no desire to have sex. So they do other things. And people look at them weird and funny, and I'm just like, bro, you're not in their life. You're not in their position. And I understand from the outside looking in, it's real. That's fucked up, and you would never want that situation to happen to you. But if you're living that, you got to figure something out, right? Otherwise, you'll go crazy.
Well, it was like I said, it was. I wish she had been honest with, but I look back on the relationship and like I said, I was happier than I'd ever been in my life. She made me so happy, but
Like,
she was making herself miserable. She fucking hated me. Like when we broke up and she was just telling me, she was like, she was like, you have a small dick and you're ugly. She was saying shit to hurt me,
right.
but but I'm telling you, I felt like she loved me. But I guess she was faking it. I don't know.
She probably did, but didn't realize that this was too much for her. Like I said, imagine you're sleeping with somebody that you don't want to sleep with.
Yeah, and
Like
she
you're
was,
essentially being raped.
oh God.
Not necessarily, but you don't want it. It repulses you. How do you tell somebody that you love that, hey, that intimate thing that you love doing, I can't stand it and it makes me sick?
Yeah. Like, that blow. Because, like, I thought that I just pissed her off or whatever. And then, like, after we broke up, she started telling me, she was like, I was faking it. I really didn't like having sex with you. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. All this kind of stuff. And I was just like, I was like, I thought she was into it and stuff. Because she used to come to sleep like she come to sleep like an old woman. She'd be almost fully clothed and stuff. And after a few months, she got comfortable. And I remember when she came to bed naked, and it blew me away because I slept in nude. I sleep in the nude, and she was always coming to bed fully clothed. And I could tell she was changing. She started coming to bed without clothes. And she saw the way, she's like, what? You see me naked before? And I was like, but you don't come, you always, she said, I'm trying something different.
To
And
make you happy.
but I didn't ask her when she come to, when I didn't ask her to do that and she did it.
You don't have to. It's what are those things, those non-responsive ways that we give off certain things, and maybe you gave off a look, or she knew that you desired, or
I
her to be
definitely,
naked.
her coming to bed naked would definitely, I like that because, like I said, I sleep in the nude. I like the woman that I'm with. I like her to come to bed nude, and I like us to be able to cuddle at night. I like that. Yes. But she would still cuddle with me even though I had no clothes on and she had her clothes. So she was still being nice and affectionate. It just was, hey, there's clothes between us
Right.
and all that kind of thing. So I was like, okay, this is what it is. And I mean, this is just her being her. I wasn't trying to change her because this is just the way she feels about things. But
You guys will never understand the amount of shit that women do to make you happy. Like we
Yeah.
will do dumb shit, some really
Well,
fucked up shit.
she when she told me, she said she made it sound like I abused her the whole relationship. Now I thought we loved each other. It was strange because she's like, I shouldn't have put up with your shit as long as I did. And I was like, what are you? Oh wow, it was just it blew me away. I could not believe it. But at the same point in time, I know I'm a long day. I know I'm a long day. I know I'm not the easiest motherfucker. Especially at this age, I've just gotten to the point where I used to try to. I noticed that when I would meet a woman, I would try to do whatever they wanted, even if it wasn't something I wanted. I'd spin on it, and I was like, I got to a certain point, and I go, "Fuck that! I'm not happy. I'm just doing what the fuck I want. And if you don't like it, you can roll out." And when I
Right.
got like that, I became a whole lot happier. But there's a lot of there's a whole path of just browbeating bitches that fucking hate my ass now. They like, fucking Antonio, I can't stand his ass.
You know
Fuck
what?
him.
I respect that, and that's what a lot of women are starting to do. And news would be like, "Well, why the fuck are women so mean and women this?" I'm like, honey, we have dealt with a lifetime of having to, hi, baby, honey, sweetie, pie. And then you get to a certain point, you're like, just fuck all this shit. Like
Yeah.
now, like I used to do that. I used to bend over backwards for dudes. Now, what? I'm gonna do what? I'm finna do what? You finna do what to? Oh hell no! If I'm not with it, I'm not with it, and you could go because I'm not worried about you because it's six other motherfuckers, seven other motherfuckers. Men love to bring up the ratio in America or whatever about the women to men and women outweighing men, and I'm like, okay, I can relate that I'm number 20 something or 30 something in your book, but you also forget that those same ratio of men that's floating around here, I got access to them too. Whether they in a relationship, out of a relationship, married, whatever, I got access to them. So I don't have to put up with your shit.
I don't know. It was weird. I remember when after she left, and the first woman I slept with after she broke up with me and left me, I felt like I was cheating on her and stuff. It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
I've been
I
there.
still have feelings for her though. I mean, it's I remember my friend Anna. She was like, you still have feelings for her, and I was like, yeah, I do, but I know she fucking hates my guts. She talks about being with me like it was like taking a bath in battery acid or some shit. She mm,
Damn.
mm,
It be like that sometimes, relationships are really funny. And that's why I'm not surprised that nowadays, my mom was talking about that our generation is so desensitized because we're so overwhelmed with social media that we can't even have regular relationships. And I was like, are we really? Because y'all were having some fucked up relationships in the 80s in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 50s. They were all fucked up. I feel like people in general just need to get their shit together. They all need to take care of the damage. Everybody need therapy, straight up. Everybody need therapy in order for you to have not only good relationships but good sexual relationships, so you can be understanding and hear your partner and talk to your partner, because your partner should be able to come to you and be like, well, you did something last night during sex that I wasn't comfortable with. They shouldn't feel like they have to hold that shit inside, and then when it's over with, I'm gonna throw all this shit out because it's done. You know. Um, so I guess that's the moral of the story for tonight. Communication is key, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to your spouses because they may be in bed with you oohing and on, but they ain't liking that shit. And trust me, I'm telling you, I faked orgasms for like 7, 8 years, and they didn't know the difference.
no,
None.
I know the difference.
They 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 didn't know the difference about shit, and because I have a deep voice right now, but I get up to my Mariah Carey levels in bed. So like yeah, I get all like that. So and they will believe that shit, and it's not until the relationship is over with that I would tell them, "Hey, you didn't give me an orgasm anyway."
Oh wow.
And they just be like, "What? What the fuck? Yeah, I was faking it the whole time." What? And I'm like,
So is it weird that I'm madly in love with a woman that can't fucking stand me, hates my fucking guts, that I wanted to marry and have babies with?
yeah. Sometimes maybe it's the wanting what you can't have, or wanting to fix what's broken. And you're
Oh,
right, David.
if she came back, I know the relationship would be completely dysfunctional based on what happened.
Yeah, yeah, it would. You're right, David Smith. Some know the difference, some just don't care. A lot of guys just don't care. They just want to get their nut.
It's
So,
just, but I don't know. But
so she's the one that got away for you, huh?
yeah, until I meet the next one. I'm just being honest because I have the when it comes to some of these chicks, I have the attention span of like a doll, a child or something. I don't know. I'm just like, oh, it's like when the dog's chasing the car and then another car comes and he decides to chase that one. So it's like, oh, there's another car. But so far I haven't found another car. She's been gone. She's been gone for over a year.
Damn.
And,
Well, it's still fresh for you. It's a year, over a year. It's still fresh.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's been. I'm trying to think. Actually, trying to see when she left. Yeah, in May it'll be 2 years since she left me.
Yeah, it's still fresh. You'll get over it,
I mean,
And
I've been dating and fucking, but it's just not. It's just not this. I just
it's not the
I just was
same.
fucking. Yeah, it's not anybody I want to be with. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. And I mean, is that your desire to find someone to be with?
I thought I would do the normal thing and just meet someone and fall in love and maybe have a family. But now I'm getting older, so I'm like, okay, if I have a baby now, I'm
Right.
45. I'm gonna be, they graduate from school and everything. And that's if I start right now, I'll be 65 going to the damn graduation or some shit, or whatever.
Hmm.
I don't want to be old as fuck, sitting there,
Well,
with a walker going to the damn.
yeah,
Um,
I know. We both in the same boat that I have spent pretty much most of my adult years trying to have a relationship with someone so I can have the family unit, the car with the 2.5 kids in the house with the fence and the dog, the American dream that they all like to sell us. But now I'm out here in this world and I'm just like, the American dream is really fucked up. And these people are so fucked up because there are a lot of hurt people hurting people, and that's what I'm realizing. They're not even really trying to have like real life relationships. They're just trying to find somebody to fill the hole or fill the void in their lives for a second, get what they can get, and then go about their business. They don't care if they decimate the fuck out of you or none of that.
Well, let me. Apex Comics says, Antonio, does she look like Dawn? No, she doesn't. Here's the thing, because when I created Dawn in my mind and created Dawn in June of 1998, I still have my notebook that I wrote everything down in. But I was thinking of two women, Jenna Jameson, the porn star, and then Angie Everhart, the model. And that's why David's home is called Everhart. Like David, the estate that David lives on is Everhart, and I specifically named it Everhart after Angie Everhart and Dawn. And again, I have a thing for red heads, so David Craven has a thing for red heads. That is why Dawn has red hair and green eyes. She because of that. But I kind of at first, my original thing, I was gonna make her kind of look like Jenna, because especially you go back like 20 years, Jenna Jameson, Jenna Jameson was a bad chick. She she had a breast job, but it wasn't like. Now I notice these porn chicks, they get like stupid crazy breast, like they would just get a C cup and it would be, just be a nice full C and it'd be nice. Now they have to get like double D's and triple D's and shit. And I'm like, a C cup is decent, just okay, get a little C cup, cool, good. There's a chick that I follow, was it Brittany XOXO or something? I can't remember her Twitter name, but she actually she had a breast rupture. She lives in Hawaii, and she had a breast rupture, and she's on Twitter, and you see her. She had to have, they had surgery. They took the bag out. They're about to, they need her to heal up before they do the surgery to fix her breast. But she's sitting there doing, I guess, and I actually respect this because she's wanting people to see what happens when you have, like a rupture or whatever. So she's not shy taking photos. She's actually taking a photo in the nude, but one breast is big, and I mean, they look like fucking giant balloons. Then the other breast, she's got a drainage tube in it, and she's sitting there, and I mean, it looks like a tire deflated.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I kind of respect. I kind of respect. What she's doing, but at the same point in time, I feel like her breasts are like gross size. Although I do like watching her sex videos. She does. And one thing I like about her is that the only person I ever see her filming with is her husband. She does like masturbation videos, and then if she does sex stuff, it's with her husband. She's sucking the dick, it's her husband's dick. If she's fucking, it's her husband she's fucking. She doesn't, and I actually like that. I was like, a lot of these other chicks I follow on Instagram, even the ones that are in relationships, they fuck all kind of other dudes and stuff. I don't know. I feel like if you married, be married. That's just me though. But I don't know. I'm kind of old fashioned. I was like, why am I gonna wife your ass and you just gonna be fucking other people all the damn time? But yeah, I feel like if we can do that and be single. Shit. I'm just saying, I feel like if we gonna do that, then why get married? We can just fuck other people and not be married. But I feel, I don't know. I still believe in marriage. If I put a ring on your finger, I think that has to mean something. But marriage means different things to other people, though.
Talk to swingers.
I have talked to a bunch of. No, remember, no, that's kind of how you and I kind of came into the thing because
right.
I'm saying, no, trust me, I know plenty of swingers. I don't understand the part about getting married. I don't know because I'm old school, I guess, in that thing. I was like, if we just gonna fuck other people, why put a label on it? Why make it legal?
Well, I've talked to plenty of swingers in my day, and the general consensus is that they want stability. At the end of the day, they still want a stable life outside of their sex life. Their sex life is all over the place. They want somebody to be able to have fun with, they can come home and be with. They still want the traditional values of having a relationship. But when it comes to sex, it's all, everything just goes. And I can understand that. Some people have certain desires. And let's be quite honest. When men get married, men tend to cheat. Men tend to cheat because they are tired of the same pussy every day and every night. Women are now cheating and men are getting mad about that. But it's like, do y'all not realize that we feel the same way too? We don't want to be fucking the same dick all the time,
but see,
every night. We get tired.
That's why I'm saying, I'm like, why not do a Hugh Hefner style? I would just do a Hugh Hefner, like we just laid up like that, and that's how we would do it.
Well, Hugh Hefner got married too.
He
stayed married.
He got married. I think he got married 3 times.
Yep. And he stayed married for a minute and then, and got divorces, after the fact. But he said that he desired to have stability in his relationships as well. It's just coming to the sex. He wanted other sexual things that his wife did not. So
that's why I'm saying, like the last woman he got married to, that was one of the things that, because she talked about after Hef died, she talked about, she was married to him, but she was agreeing to do stuff that she really, because that was kind of what he was like, oh, if I have a woman that is like, hey, it's totally fine to have all other sexual partners and stuff, then she's worth marrying because she understands that yes, I love her and I want to be married to her, but I do want to bring other people into the relationship. And when he find, a woman, they know how much, God is worth several $100 million, has this massive empire. He's like, hey, I love you, baby, but yes, I do want to see other people. I want to have girlfriends, and I feel like love is love, and that we should be able to have other people in the relationship. And she doesn't want to piss Hefner off. So, yeah, baby, let's do that. That's fine. And she really doesn't mean that.
Right.
And that last woman he was married to, it became too much for her. She even said that. She was like, yeah, he was always, there was always more women. It was never stable. And it was all, and at some point in time, she just had to realize that this wasn't for her and she had to get out. So she just said what she needed to say to get married. And then I know one of them, I think she actually got pregnant, I thought. So it was like, oh, shit. Because I know, Hef's daughter was the one that took over the magazine and stuff. Do they even publish the magazine anymore?
Yeah, they do.
I know they have a website.
Lizzo was on the cover a few months ago, and she did it straight with them.
Well, they had said that they weren't doing the centerfolds and nudity and stuff anymore, and it was just going to be like interview and lifestyle and that kind of thing, entertainment. They were just going to, Playboy was just going to cover movie premieres and talk to authors and do those kind of things that Playboy was known for, but you weren't going to get the nudity. And I was like, huh? But I think they went back on that. So I don't even know if they do that. I haven't read Playboy in so long, but I used to love Playboy. Playboy they would sit down with like Michael Jordan does the Playboy interview. That shit would get deep.
Right.
Michael Jordan would have a deep interview with Playboy. And so that running joke was like, I just read Playboy for the articles. The articles in Playboy were great. They did great interviews. Let's see. Yeah, Christy Hefner ran again. Yes, his daughter. And that's why but like I said, I don't even know. I know they still have a website and all, and they have a network, and there's still, obviously they sell all kind of merch with that fucking bunny on it and all that. So they still bringing in the money. I just don't know if can you get a subscription to Playboy magazine now? I don't know. Or is it digital? Because, that's the thing. Magazines are dying and stuff. I don't even know. I don't even know if
I don't.
I'm
even
Googling it right now because I'm trying to see, can you still get Playboy? Because all the Playboys I'm seeing are old magazines that are on eBay.
But it going back to what we were talking about. I feel like different strokes for different folks. If it works for you, it works for you. If it don't, it don't. And I totally understand that because everybody has particulars on what type of relationship they want and what type of marriage they want. And it just, it works for them. Like a lot of people give Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn grief for the fact that they've been together for decades and they've never
haven't got married.
They're not common law married. They have kids and all that because they don't feel like they have to. And I feel that at this point, really and truly, I don't want a marriage. The only reason
do they actually have kids together? I know.
Yeah, they have children together.
Because I know the two kids that Goldie Hawn had. Was it Oliver and what's the other? Those were from another guy. Oliver, Oliver and Kate Hudson. Those were from the director. What's his name? Was it Bruce Hudson? I can't remember. He was a director that she was with and had two kids with him. And I don't. Does she have other children? Honestly,
I know they had a child together, but I don't know about children. Let me look that up.
Yeah, I'm looking that shit up because that's why I was like, I know Oliver and Kate Hudson, and then. Oh, okay. She's got one child with Kurt, a young man by the name of Wyatt Russell.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Wyatt. So they have Wyatt Russell. Okay, so so she's had 3 kids, but 2 of them were the other guys.
Right?
He got in a relationship. That's just that goes back to what we was talking about, getting into a relationship with a person that's already got kids. But I mean, I mean, I guess that's what it was, right?
If it works out, it works out.
I mean, they still together though, so I mean, so I guess that worked.
Right,
They
right. For them to give us for 3-4 decades for
That's
a
what I'm
long
saying. Yeah, they've
time.
been together when I was a little boy. They were together,
Right.
and they're still,
So
yeah, they're still together. I mean, he was
so
in like
people
Big Trouble in Little China, and they were together or whatever. So
right. So people are wilding out the fact that they have that type of relationship, or the people are wilding out the fact that Will and Jada have an open marriage.
Whoa,
A fucking
hold up. Now, let's talk about that because that's been the rumor, but they've never came out
they
and
never
public
came out and
and
said it.
said that that's what it is. But it's been I saw those tabloids that said that Will specifically has a woman a travel companion that but they kind of have an agreement like don't embarrass me. And
And
yeah, that's yeah, don't embarrass me. It's
it
like
works for
don't.
them.
But I mean, that's what there's been the Inquirer and all that. They've been exposing this stuff and some of these what was it? I used to read Famous all the time. She had like blogs. She's on Instagram. They started shutting her Instagram down. She was dropping all that hot fire, and they started Instagram started locking her account and stuff. And she said, "I'm getting tired of this shit." She was exposed because she was the one that broke the story that Jamie Foxx was dating Tom Cruise's ex-wife, and now they
Oh
done broke
yeah.
up. Yeah, she was the first. Matter of fact, they covered her. They covered the story on TMZ. They used her footage and just put a watermark over it. But she was on Instagram, Snap. She was going off. She was like, they used the footage that I had that someone sold to me and didn't give me no credit for it. So that's what it is. Boom. Let's see. Let me see here. Thanks for looking out with that digital copy of your brand. Excellent book. I'm definitely going back way to go. Well, thank you. That is that I appreciate that because yeah, we're over we're at 6,600 right now. It's only been up for a week, so over 6 almost 7,000 the first week. I'm happy with that. And when Kanan actually is crazy. I will be grabbing Kanan from the airport in less than 12 hours. I will be picking Kanan up there at the airport, and he'll be here for the week. And I'm looking forward to him signing these books and us getting everything together and shipping those bad boys out. Because the people, they really came in. We had went on the first campaign. We had over 2,400 orders, and that was amazing. And yeah, I appreciate that. So yeah, thank you again, TJ Swan. I appreciate you. And but no, like I said, sometimes, or maybe I'm agreeing with you in certain instances, that I guess whatever you consider a relationship, whatever, as long as the two people in the relationship are okay with what is happening, yeah.
I mean that's exactly essentially how I feel. If they don't have to verify or confirm or deny this situation because what goes on in their marriage is none of our business. We are not privy to any of their shit.
That is true.
So I mean, like it tripped me out. I remember black folks were tripping because Ruby D came out and said when Isaac Davis died that they had always had an open marriage. They had
Oh, did she say
always,
that? Because
yeah,
they were
she
together
said
for a long time.
they were together for a long time, but they had an open marriage because they were together. They were fulfilling each other's needs, but sexually, they both had other needs. And unlike how some dudes will be like, well, I need to do this, but you can't do this. He understood that his wife needed more dick too.
Oh wow. Okay.
So they had an agreement to have an open marriage. And my mom, I remember we had a long conversation about that. And she was like, I don't understand why people get married and all that other stuff. And I'm like, well, it's not for you to understand because at the end of the day, you don't have to live with that marriage. You don't have to be in that marriage, and on one hand, and on the other hand, some people see that marriage as like the end all be all. It's essentially drilled in our heads since childbirth. since we are born in this earth that we have to get married and have kids and all that other shit. So now you're sitting up here and you're dealing with the fact that, hey, my spouse doesn't have certain things, but we got married and we love each other. So what do you do with that? If you're, let's say you get married and your wife is not topping you off the way you want to, and you tried everything and it's just not working, or your wife is not giving you the sex that you desire, and you guys are not pleased with each other sexually, but everything else is good. Y'all got the house is good, your fucking relationship is good as far as y'all communicating and spending time together. But when it comes to sex, it's the price is right.
So.
Yeah, it's the Price is Right horn. You know, just nah. What do you do with that? Do you divorce them?
Or do you ride it out?
You ride it out and make a relationship that's working for you. You know, some women they're getting a marriage and their man needs, you know, more women or whatever, and they'll allow that to happen as long as certain guidelines are tended to. There are other marriages where both partners will get together and be like, okay, well, we're not pleased sexually or we're not compatible sexually. What do we do with that? That's how I got into swinging. Me and my husband were not compatible in sex because he was doing the most. He was, which is the least. He was not just, and it just wasn't doing nothing for me. And he
But you
was,
wanted to stay with him.
yeah, because everything else. Once we got over the abusive situation and everything like that, and he started acting good and doing right by me, then the relationship was wonderful. You know, I took care of the home, he took care of the bills, I took care of him, all that. And we were happy. We just wasn't happy in bed.
But you
You
were
know,
happy everywhere else.
I was happy everywhere else except that. And that's how people get into open marriages to become swingers and all that, because they're like, well, look, I love you and I love this person and I dedicated my life to this person. We're just not sexually compatible, or um, you're not doing things that I would prefer sexually, or this is getting a little boring. Let's spice it up. You know, I try not to judge people because I know us as humans, we are not one note individuals. It's not gray. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not black and white. It's gray all over.
I feel you. I feel you on that. Well, I was like, there's so much. I was
So
like,
much.
there's so much I can say. Okay, so here's the deal. All right, because we're gonna wrap this one up. We're getting, man, we've been talking for a minute. It's been a great show, actually. I appreciate the crowd participation, and
Thank
some
you
of y'all.
guys.
I see y'all every week, man. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so next Saturday is my 45th birthday, so I'm gonna have my birthday.
Woo.
Kane is gonna be here, so there will not be a sexy party next week, but we will be back the following week. I'm gonna be kicking it with my homeboy, but hell, Kanan's gonna be here. Kanan's gonna be here all week. We're gonna be signing these books. He's gonna be doing sketch covers, doing stuff like that. So, I wanna, obviously, I wanna kick it with my man. I've known Kanan almost 3.5 years now, and we've never met in person. Although I've talked to him hundreds of hours and all this kind of stuff, but we never met in person. He's coming in from Indiana. I'm looking forward to that. But next week, so yeah, next week I'm definitely gonna be streaming, but I'm just not gonna do sexy party on Saturday night. But after that little week, and I'll come back as a brand new 45-year-old Antonio. And so the following week we will be, so yeah, on the 14th, which is my birthday. That is definitely going to be my 45th birthday. I might actually do a birthday stream or something. I thought about that because Kanan will be here. I might stream because people are like, "Are you going to at least stream on your birthday or whatever?" So I'll do that possibly and just stream with Kanan, and we can see people signing comics and stuff like that. We'll have some fun. But guys, this has been fun. Of course, Mad Weirdo, your fans, please tell people how they can reach you and all that good stuff. Shower you with
Um,
bitches.
I am on Instagram. You can check me out at the Mad Weirdo. I also have a page on Facebook called the Mad Weirdo. And if you liked what you heard and want to toss some coins to your Witcher, you can cash out me at the Mad Weirdo.
It is in the
Or
description as well, by the way. The description to
thank
her
you.
cash app. Yeah. So
But early birthday, and we will be back in 2 weeks, I guess.
yeah. We'll be back. But let me. I guess I should conclude that. Yeah, back in 2 weeks. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on YouTube, all at a Card Press. Cardpress.com takes you to Brand Way of the Gun. Thank you guys so much. This has been a fun episode. Mad Weirdo, sign us out. Let everybody know we gone.
We out, y'all. See y'all in 2 weeks.
Chuck Deuces.